smoke so much I make my sinus bleed. Wish I could blow up just so I could breathe, but it's hard when there's riots in the streets. Sick of sitting out of.
Hey, what's up? This is Off the Top with J Rob. This is episode number 27. We got Soulrstar in the building. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing, bro?
Shit, I'm great. Just drinking coffee and all that, you know. What you been up to today?
Shit, man. Just chilling. Had a session with Evan Hughes last night, taking some photos.
For real?
Yeah, and then today, man, just been working, ran some errands, and then came over through here to do this Off the Top interview.
Lit.
Yeah.
We might run an anti-interview too if you want.
With it, bro.
Alright, lit. Yeah, shout out to the anti-interview. So, tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is JB. I go by Soulrstar. I'm a local musician, videographer. I guess you could say mixed media artist. I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Moved away for a while. Came back like 5 or 6 years ago, and I've just been plugging myself into the scene, trying to support as much people as possible. And yeah, that's me, man.
Lit. So we was talking about something before this, and I want to ask you about this. You was talking about meditation and stuff. What is transcendental meditation?
So transcendental meditation, there's a few different versions or types of meditation, but transcendental is kind of it's a method where you just basically forget everything in a way. You just focus on your breathing and you try to like free your mind of like any thought whatsoever. And the benefit of that is that your mind is kind of a lake, and it's as you forget all these thoughts that are, you know, sit at the top of the surface, you're able to kind of sink down into your subconscious and get a better like feeling for what you're actually feeling down there and what emotions are happening, like, you know, at the depths of your lake.
Dope. So do you think that like goes hand in hand with like music at all and anything?
Big time, yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, I think before I make most songs, I do some type of transcendental meditation, whether it's just like 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. Of
just like breathing exercises and trying to free like all thoughts in my head.
Okay, dope. So like, why do you do that?
It started out, I mean, I had a lot of troubled things happen in my life, a lot of tragic things, and I think I struggled finding peace for a long time. And when I found transcendental meditation, it allowed me to like kind of get to the core of the things that were festering with my peace levels, you know. So that stuff just became like something that I needed to do regularly to stay sane, you know. And when I started making music, I started realizing that, like, you know, a lot of the things that I learned about myself and life through transcendental meditation were the things that I wanted to kind of talk about and highlight in my music.
Okay, dope. That's very interesting. So how long have you been into the music generally?
Man, so I mean, I started like choir when I was like 4 years old, and I did that stuff for a while. I was in musical theater for a little while. I did a couple of plays where I was like a lead role and had to, you know, sing and do some stuff like that in musicals. Then I started making my own. I started writing my own music when I was like 15, probably just kind of messing around, writing songs. And then I think I was like 18, 19, me and my friend Garrett started messing around making some beats. When I was 22, this producer I was messing with in Idaho deleted all the songs I had recorded, and
what?
Yeah, and I was like,
why?
30 or 40, some bullshit, man. It was like some girl that he liked came and talked to me at the cafeteria, and she just like sat with me at lunch or whatever, and then someone else told him about it before I said something, which I didn't even know. And then, yeah.
I mean, bro, even if you try to date her or anything, like, that still would not be no reason. It don't matter what you did, you know what I'm saying? Like, no reason to do that. Like,
I was trying to reason with them. He like deleted all of them right in front of my face, one by one. Like,
I bet you were like, nah, please, like, bro, don't do that.
I was
shit.
begging
like,
with each one.
Oh my gosh.
But after that happened, I was just like, man, I can't leave this up to anybody else anymore. I was like, these beats are gonna suck at first, but I gotta get on the journey.
It probably actually helped you more than anything else because that was like something of like just so, I mean, shocking, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you're probably like, I'm gonna stop, but it's like in your head, like you kind of knew deep down, you're like, I'm not ever gonna fucking stop. Like nobody can ever fucking stop me. I feel like that is a huge thing right there, like because I mean, have you ever like had a hater that was like, I'm sure there's like many different types of haters. I'm sure you've had a hater that was like hated, but they were like your friend or whatever.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a hater that like hates on you like to you and is like, hey, that shit, either that's this or that, this is my opinion, like super just like fucked up? Like you ever have anybody like say something like really messed up, like, man, everything you do sucks or something? Well, I've had that happen to me before, but that helped me more than anything else, bud.
No, I agree with that. I think that's like the make or break mentality of like whether you're gonna make it in anything or not. Is it's like when somebody comes at you with whether it's like some harsh criticism or whatever it is, or you know, trying to steal shit from you, or you're gonna be like, ah, damn it, like I'm just quitting, that's it, or you're gonna be like, man, what the fuck, like, let me hop over this obstacle and keep moving, or whatever.
It's like, and then it creates a whole nother thing. They don't realize that they created a monster, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, actually, it's like I'm more like almost more happy with the haters that are just really like rude directly than like indirectly, because at least they're like letting you know what I'm saying? Because at least he didn't just like, because he probably could have done a way more, like, you know what I'm saying, like he could have done it like in a way that was like more sneaky, you know what I'm saying, like so at least he didn't like try to like, I don't know. But anyways, so what's up with his playing college basketball? What's up with that?
Yeah, man, I played college basketball. I started out at Southwest Oklahoma State in Weatherford, Oklahoma. I transferred to WHYFYRE Community College in Wilmington, North Carolina. Then I transferred to Northwest Nazarene in Boise, Idaho. Then I transferred to Plainview, Texas. It was a Wayland Baptist, some NAIA school. Then I went from there to a school in Missouri. William Woods.
Why did you do all that?
Alright, we'll just run it down real quick. So the first school, I signed there, and the coach I signed with took the AD job, and they hired a new coach like right as I was coming in my freshman year, and he was an asshole, so I didn't want to play with him. So I transferred to a junior college. Junior college, you only get 1 year to play there. I was a sophomore, or you get 2 years, but that was my second year, so I had to transfer. So then we go to Idaho. And Idaho was cool, man. I loved it out there, but it was like it was Northwest Nazarene. It was a Nazarene school, and it was just like a little overbearing. I don't know, with
what
like
is that?
Christian, like it was like a Christian college, and they was just like, I don't know.
Very like uptight.
Yeah, very uptight and very like forceful on like what you should think and things like that. And I didn't do very well with that. I had a lot of good friends out there, and I liked playing basketball out there, but like those ideologies just weren't like good for my mental health. It's too like direct and like and trying to like control to some degree. But so like you went and did all this stuff. So like were you like hella good at this, or like what? Yeah, man. I mean, I was pretty good at basketball for sure. I was just good at scoring. You know what I'm saying? I could shoot the ball.
That's really dope. How long did you do that for?
My dad was a coach, and everyone in my family played sports. So I started playing basketball when I was just like a real little kid.
So did he want you to like be a sports superstar or something?
Yeah, everyone in my family did. That was like,
So it's like one side is like the music, and the other side was the sports.
Yeah.
But did they have did they prefer one side over the other? Like,
nah, they really didn't, man. My parents were pretty cool with that. They just wanted me to do like what made me happy. And my mom was also like a creative writing teacher.
Wow. So you have a lot of the things that what it takes, and you're like through the DNA, in my opinion, and the experiential stuff, like to have what it takes, and that's probably why you're doing music, because like I feel like the musicians and writers' mind, I feel like it can be determined by the people of our past.
Yeah, 100%, man. We're all shaped by like whatever energies we've encountered over our lives, whether that be the parents that we grew up with, families, friends we spent time with, like
exactly.
It all shapes our current energy and who we are now, you know.
Definitely. So what I'm curious about is, do you think that, like, so you said you have the history with the sports and with the choir and stuff. Do you think that programs like that in schools are important for the youth and the next generation of people? Do you think that having that is important?
Incredibly important, man. I mean, that's like, I wouldn't have made it through my youths, you know, without that stuff. That was like what I look forward to a lot of times. Those were the things that I learned. 90% of the life lessons I know from, you know, playing basketball and basketball practices and games, and learning how to deal with loss, and learning how to, you know, work together with a bunch of people to organize things. Yeah, it's so many things. And I, like Verse, he's got that like rap school in Tulsa.
Really?
That's huge. I don't know if you heard
they're
about
all
that.
like they're all a bunch of teachers. Like all of them are teachers.
Yeah, Verse, and I want to say Written Quincy.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who else is involved in it. I'm sorry if I left you out, but that's like one of the dopest things. And that's one of the best things for Tulsa right now, because, you know, there is starting to become a spotlight on our music scene, and there's like opportunities there. And it's just such a great outlet as far as, you know what I'm saying, kids who deal with stuff emotionally, you know, being able to
go,
get that out.
camaraderie.
And then you get that out when people are like, yo, it's okay that you feel this way, or like, you know, oh damn, I feel that way too. And then it's like all this,
because a lot of people are like suppressed in their home life or by people around them, and it's like, in my opinion, I would think that crime rate probably goes higher whenever whenever the public school systems lose that type of aspect, you know, like especially in the 70s, I think they had, are you aware of this? Whenever they took away the instruments and stuff out of the inner cities because they couldn't afford like a music program anymore, so then people started just like, you know, working with a turntable and scratching a turntable, and then started like rapping and dancing and stuff. That's where it all, and then art, like graffiti, all of that like cultivated through that, and then but even that became weaponized eventually. It's against people. So like, but it's like having these things, I agree, it's so important to have it for the next generation, because then if we don't have people like us that were like, yeah, music is what, you know, or football or basketball or anything, we're like, then people are gonna, what else are they gonna be doing? You know what I'm saying? Gonna be out there on a corner trying to sell drugs or something. So it's like, but this very interesting topics. I really like these things. I want to move on to another one though, real quick. So you're talking about that you have that you are a part of 3 bands.
Yeah. So Lovely Lorenzo is my main band. We're working on an EP right now. Then we'll try to start doing some shows around Tulsa. It's kind of like a bluesy, like Red Hot Chili Peppers mixed with Rainbow Kitten Surprise or something. I don't know, but it's really not a lot of hip hop involved in it. To be honest, it's really just like indie rock. And then there's Psychedelic Velvet, which is just like a lot of fucking hip hop and like a lot of bars to just like, my friend Clay Bird is the other part of that, and he's just like a wicked good musician, man. He makes all the beats, makes all the instrumentals, plays a lot of instruments. He's a wicked good drummer. I mean, he plays pretty much all the drum lines, just like one take on his shit, like the whole fucking shit, man. It's crazy. But yeah, that's just like all hip hop. And then there's one called Flower Delivery Service, and that's with my friend June Ricks. She has a band called Free Association here in town, and that's like a smooth mix of like indie rock and hip hop. It's like a lot of like verses rapped to, you know, indie rock stuff with kind of like lo-fi beats behind.
That's really interesting. So is it difficult, like doing all that?
For like the first month, I think, having all the different projects, I got overwhelmed just because I was overthinking it, but it's not difficult at all, no.
So I mean, is it like, I mean, is it so it's not difficult like keeping everybody like together, or, like, you know, like especially between so many, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that ever like an issue, like making sure, because it's a lot of people.
That's probably the biggest issue, is just like getting people on the same page and in the same place at the same times.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's like it's gotten a little easier for us. But it's definitely a struggle with like anytime you have a group of people, you know, and you got to be like understanding if someone's got a life situation that comes up, you know, even if you know you need to practice, you know, you still got to be like, all right, I understand, like this came up, that's all right, we'll get to it next week or whatever. But you know, it's just something that you got to deal with the band, you know. It's just
so like, who's the leader of all the bands?
Man,
do they all have individual leaders? Are you the leader?
I mean,
or is there not really like a
Psychedelic Velvet is like, it's like me and Clay equally, and Flower Delivery Service is like me and June equally, and Lovely Lorenzo, I mean, it was formed by me, my friend Josh, Ben, and Jack. And then we added Mike Rodriguez, who goes by Mosaic, as a drummer later on. And that, like, Lovely's just kind of, there's probably like like Josh and I end up writing most of the songs, and I end up like probably trying to organize practice most of the time. But I mean, everybody's got their role to play, you know.
Yeah. So would you? Sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
Would you agree that maybe 90% of the people in the group are in your groups are like leaders in their own sense?
Yeah, and I think that was like purposeful though.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those people in the Lovely Lorenzo band are also like producers, or like, you know, they make beats themselves, or they have their own side projects or whatever, which is nice because you know that they know how to, you know, take over a project and do it themselves.
Okay, yeah, dope. I mean, I feel like, you know, everybody having leadership qualities and being able to be a leader is very important. Do you think that it is important for a dynamic at certain points in time for one or two people to be looked at as a leader or the leader, so they have like direction? I'm just curious, like generally, you know what I'm saying, it could just be in life. I mean, because I have you know, I'm in a group with people. I have a group and like co-founded, I mean pretty much founded, but we're like, we all leaders, but it's like, if nobody else is gonna say this is what we're doing, then I will, you know what I'm saying? I
think to me it's like whoever's willing to take the initiative and it looks like that person really cares, like they should be the lead. But that's just how I feel, you know, because I don't think people should do jobs they don't want to do, or like, you know, take over responsibilities or things they don't want to do. But
exactly.
It's like, if you want to do that, then I think you should be doing it. Like if you're passionate about doing it, and if it's something you want to do, then it's like, yeah. Maybe some bands run into the problem that like everybody wants to do it, you know what I'm saying? Which we don't really have that, because like everyone in ours is like, they are all like able to do things on their own, and they have that like leadership mentalities, but they also are all like, okay, that's a good idea, like let's go with that, you know. But I think the nice thing is they'll also voice when it's not a good idea, and we basically have a thing that's like we all got to agree on it for it to like be a thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, it's not just like something doesn't just like become a thing because someone says it. Like, we bring it up, talk about it, and like all five agree, all right, now it's a thing.
Yeah, like a voting system. That's kind of similar to what we be doing too.
It's helpful to have someone who like is more apt to like lead that whole like discussion or something, you know what I'm saying? But that's really all the like.
And it's also important to have the people to be like the people that are like, no, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because without everybody that's like yes, no, yes, maybe, whatever, you know, it's like those people that are decisive and they go with what their gut's telling them. Like, very important to have people like, and then that voting system is very important. So I have another question though, and I got a bunch more because like we have a lot that we thought of and stuff. But so there's something that I want to ask you, if you feel like the people that you are around musically or either way, if you think this list of 10 words resonates like with 90%, if you think that you have to have all of these to be around people. So loyalty, love, communication, respect, honesty, honor, discipline, patience, influence, and understanding.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, man.
Do you think that people could go without one of those, like, and still be like good with them, you know what I'm saying? Or like, do you think it's necessary to have all 10?
I think it's necessary to have varying balance. Like if you're gonna work in a group, you gotta have, like varying balances of all 10 of those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At some point, you're gonna have to do all 10 of those.
Of course, and I feel like see, I kind of labeled it with the beginning is the most important, and then the rest of it is, I mean, the first 5 are the most important to me. The second 5 are the least important, but it's like they are necessary. But like honor, that's very important. Discipline, patience, influence, and understanding. I put understanding at the end because having understanding with the people we're around is important, but it's like I don't think understanding is as important as loyalty.
Yeah.
But I've never asked that. You know, I just came up with that list the other day, and I've been sharing it with people but anyways, I have a whole bunch more I want to ask you about though. So you said something about doing 3 documentaries and videography. What's up with that?
Yeah, so the first documentary I did was on the digital divide and how that like causes a divide between lower income and higher income people.
Interesting.
So, you know, like kids in inner cities growing up that don't have access to iPads and, you know, laptops or Wi-Fi or what have you, you know what I'm saying? They don't have the same access to knowledge that, you know, a kid in this income range that has Wi-Fi and a computer and all these things to work on, and just how that like affects the entire like, you know, upbringing to whenever those kids are 25 or whatever, you know, what does their life look like compared to, you know. So that was like the first documentary I did.
Wow, so that's like some deep thinking stuff like that. I mean, for real, like, so where is it? Where's it at? Like, where can I find it?
It is, I did that one in college, man, and it was in the First Flight Film Festival out in Missouri. And honestly, I don't know, maybe First Flight still has I haven't seen it since we made it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't. Well, I watched it like, it's one of those things though, I think that I saw it like 1,000 times while editing it, and then we saw it on the big screen and stuff.
And you're like, okay, like you're like, yes, it's amazing.
That's
and you're
done.
like,
yeah,
and you're like next day,
yeah, exactly. We did it. Yeah.
That's how I am with the interviews, dude. I shoot the interviews and I watch them while I'm editing it, and then they're like, hey, remember this thing you said in that one? I'm like, nope.
Not at all. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, but eventually, it's like we do all this stuff, then we go back and then we watch it all if we have access to it. So, but it's like you've been with the filmmaking industry and all of that, and videography and stuff. I mean, so what about you said something about broadcast television industry. What's up with that?
Yeah, so what I do as a main job is me and my brother have a company where we build robotic cameras, and we sell them to television stations, and they put those up like outside.
What?
Yeah, they put them up outside and they're just on all the time, and they can control them from the station. And then, like, you know, say some crazy weather's happening or rolling through, you know what I'm saying, they'll flip that on the news, or they'll use it as like a backdrop when they're like telling you the weekly weather or whatever. Wow. You know what I'm saying, what have you. But
that's really interesting. Holy shit.
Yeah, so my grandpa, my grandpa, I guess, is really the one that kicked it off. He had a company doing that. And then my dad started his own company doing that in like 2001.
So it's carried over in the bloodline.
Yeah, then my dad passed away. I had already been working for my dad's company, like building the cameras, you know what I'm saying, when I was home, just making extra money and whatnot. So I would be building the cameras, learning a little bit about how the systems work. And then that just kind of turned into...
So you come from some smart people, that I would say.
And like smart people who are very entrepreneurial minded, you know.
I mean, no, like those people that you came from, would sound like you came from some very smart people, and I feel like that is so important in music, is being smart. You know, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like some of the smartest people and some of the most like, you know, people that go get it, that mentality, I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them, in my opinion, like they've broken through. I feel like part of the spiritual awakening has a lot to do with being incredibly smart, and then it also can mean a little bit of craziness here or there. You know what I'm saying? Like I I'm saying that, I mean, I resonate with that. You know, it's like I feel like a lot of us artists are a lot of smart ass people, but I feel like we're all like, like all this stuff is happening. You know, we need to like make a change. But that's really interesting that you've been in with that. You said making cameras and shit. I don't even know how to like what like. You have a very interesting life. What it sounds like. So you said something about movie. Can we discuss any of that movie with local
Hughes? Yeah. Right now we're working on a movie with Evan Hughes. I'll share a little bit about it. It's just gonna be like a day in the life of Evan Hughes. That's basically the premise or whatever. And
that's dope.
We're building some subplot and some other things. It'll have, you know, mid movie twist and stuff, but it's just gonna be a short film, so it'll be like maybe 20 minutes long, and we're gonna push it into a bunch of film festivals and
You need any extras or
We will, man, we will for sure. We're writing the script right now. We're putting some things together. I've been spending a bunch of time with Evan, taking pictures to kind of like get like, you know, how I vision him looking on the camera for it, and then also just like listening to him talk to people and get like the flow of conversation for script writing.
That's really interesting. So are you needing any help with either set design, creative art direction, or anything like that? Because like, I mean, I would love to help. I mean, I have a couple resources, but y'all probably got way more resources than I do. But I would be interested in the help any way I can.
Yeah, man, I'll let you know for sure. I'm definitely not shying away from people offering help.
Yeah, and it's like,
I think Sneak's gonna help out with some of the videography and stuff.
Oh yeah, he got really good stuff.
Yeah, so I think we got something pretty good going. And then, I mean, yeah, I would like, I mean, ideally as many people from the local scene as possible to be involved with it, because
yeah. So are you storyboarding it or anything, like storyboard?
It's been storyboarded right now.
So it's been okay.
And we're in the stage, like we have a subplot. It's been like storyboarded out in an outline fashion. I'm to the point where I need to write a script.
Yeah, that's the next thing I was gonna ask.
And I've even got like some of the opening shots and some different things like that all already going. But yeah, we're in the script writing phase. So I gotta have a few meetings with Evan.
Movie poster. What about movie poster? Y'all need help with that?
We might need help with it. I'll probably do something. It'll be after we shoot it probably, because I'm gonna need to probably figure out like what shots. You know what I'm saying? I'll pull it from a shot or something, like the idea for the movie poster. You know.
But yeah, that sounds really cool. That sounds really interesting. Like that sounds like, I feel like Tulsa needs more of that, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So like, when you do so many things, though, do you think that is a term like jack of all trades? Do you think that is a good way to describe yourself? Like you do, like look at all the things you do. You know what I'm saying? Like how many more? Like you probably gonna. What else you gonna like, man? Like you have. I feel like you got the mindset. You know, of like anything you want to do, you're gonna do it. You know.
You could call it jack of all trades. You could also call it ADD or ADHD or some shit.
Yeah.
I get tired of doing things, so I'll move on to something else. But in doing that, you realize how connected a lot of it is, especially in media, because I mean it's really all stories, and like how well you can tell a story or purvey a story. You know, it's like the different ways that you do that. You know, are obviously a little different in each medias, but it's like once you learn those little principles of like how to tell a story or how to maneuver through a story, you know, in each different one, it becomes a little bit easier. So it's like like some people would say jack of all trades, but to me they're kind of all like
they're intertwined.
Yeah, they're very intertwined. They're like together in a lot of ways to me.
I actually totally agree. I mean, I feel like the sound and the image are very similar. I mean, they're similar. I mean, if you look at an editor, you know, I mean, it's something you edit something on video editor, you know, like Premiere or like Studio One or FL Studio, anything like that, Pro Tools, like the sound engineering is very like similar to the visual engineering. I mean, in many different fronts. It's not just like because it looks the same, but it's like just that it you know what I'm saying, like, because like I've done some vocal engineering for the past, for a while, but I had no idea what I was doing. I still kind of have no idea what I'm doing, but eventually it's like that sound becomes a vision. Like you visualize the sound, you hear and then hear the ooh, you know what I'm saying, like it all kind of comes in together, the lows and the mids and the highs, Same thing with the video, like or telling a story or even writing, it's all goes together. So you do vocal engineering, producing, and all that. Why do you do that?
Well, as we talked about earlier, I started doing it because I trusted somebody else to do it for me, and that didn't go so well when they got mad at me. So that's when I just decided I needed to learn how to do it myself. Just for my own, I didn't ever start to do it for anybody else. It was just to record my own stuff and be able to actually record music and do what I wanted with it.
So is it same for everything? Like all the stuff you're doing, like is it the same answer? I would assume so, because
it is, man.
All the bands, the
it's all just
movie,
stuff I wanted to do, man. It's just like stuff I wanted to do, and like it's like if you want to do it bad enough, I feel like you'll start putting plans in motion and feelers out to see like who else wants to be involved with it,
Exactly.
And that's just what happens with all of it. And I've been fortunate enough that a lot of really talented people wanted to be involved with stuff that I've been working on. So
exactly, and see, it's like it's grown over time. Now I want to ask a couple wild card questions. Do you believe in aliens?
Yes, 100%.
Do you believe in metaphysical, like spiritual aliens, or do you believe in physical aliens?
I think physical aliens, for real. So that's an interesting question, because I'm gonna bring this up. I read a book when I was like 14, and there was these religious people trying to convince me the opposite of what I actually was convinced after I read the book. But the book was saying that angels and demons, or what we think of as angels and demons, are aliens, or I guess it was saying the opposite. It was like no, aliens aren't real, those are just angels and demons. And I was like, I believe that's the total opposite. I was like, this makes a lot of sense, but I think that like that's for real. So like you read all the ancient writings, you know what I'm saying, of like circles of fire in the air and all these different things. It's like, how else would they be able to describe a UFO? That's the only way they'd have to say it.
So do you think that those physical aliens, do you think that they come from another planet, or do they come from our own planet?
I don't know that. I mean, I'm like the type of person that I literally don't know for real. Like, this is just like, I do have my beliefs, but like, I don't know, and I don't think anyone else knows either. And I think the people who say they do are probably full of shit. But
they're like, oh, come listen to my seminar about aliens.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone who's like, this is how it is, exactly. It's like, no, for real, it's not. But they might be from a whole another universe, like I don't know, you know, saying a whole other
then that
galaxy
would be like metaphysical.
Or some shit. Yeah, exactly. Then that becomes metaphysical. But I mean, maybe it's like it goes hand in hand.
See, my personal belief is that, this ain't about me, but it's like my personal belief is that I think that aliens are real in a physical and metaphysical or spiritual sense. But I feel like it's a good possibility that what if aliens are made on this planet, so the metaphysical aliens can have a
body to inhabit.
So a body to take it over. So maybe that's why we're in the age of we're in the age right now of technological advancement faster than we ever could see before. So maybe that when people try to transcend the firmament to a certain degree or whatever, maybe they're trying to build something so that way they can. But see, that's a whole crazy theory. We'll talk more about that on the anti-interview if we want. But that's my personal belief. So, but do you believe that there's a lot of people that believe this? Almost every single person I ever asked this off the top believes it, but there's also a lot of people that don't as well. So, do you believe that the New World Order is a real thing?
New World Order, like somebody's trying to, are you talking about like Illuminati type shit and stuff?
I mean, yeah, no.
So,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, my beliefs and all that is like, there's definitely like a 0.01% at the top of all of it that's like calling some calling most of the shots and like, you know what I'm saying, controls a lot of it on like a trickle down type.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, and there's like, I've had probably a lot of different theories on even what that is, but I mean, I think it is, I think in some capacity it's happening.
Yeah, I do too. Do you think that a lot of this information that they're using for the New World Order, whoever it may be, do you think that they learned a lot of the information from history and from the Nazi scientists and MK Ultra and stuff like that? Have you heard anything about that, like Operation Paperclip, Project Manhattan, all that stuff, building the bomb? They let a lot of Nazi scientists over here to help build the nuke and stuff. And
Braun was one of them too.
I think so. And they, I mean, my opinion is that they got a lot of the information and stuff, and they're using that for the New World Order of, like, you know, mind control and all that type of stuff. But do you think that AI is going to take over the world?
I mean, it's possible. It's definitely some crazy stuff happening in that world. I don't know. I think it's disheartening to hear like the leaders of AI companies, like Elon Musk, be like, you should be scared of AI. So it's like he's literally got all the money to gain from you not being afraid of AI, and he's telling you that you should be afraid of AI. So it's like maybe he's not like bluffing on that one, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah,
but so, like,
and that's so crazy though.
And that's just like to me, it's like, that's probably like one of the most, he probably knows more about what's going on in AI than like 99.9% of the world, you know what I'm saying? So if he's being like, you should be weary of it, it's like, should probably be a little weary of it, you know what I'm saying? I do have actually a song on an album coming out called Artificial Intelligence that's like right up those alleys or whatever, but it's like I don't know, like maybe we don't want computers deciding what people they like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and having like moral calls and shit, like you're locked inside your car and it decides you're a shitty person or something, like.
Yeah, like self-driving car, like they take over.
Exactly,
I mean, shit,
man.
Political assassination be easier.
Yeah,
whatever it was.
You chilling,
know, like,
smoking a blunt, all of a sudden your car is like, locks up. It's like, nah, we going
it's
off
like,
it does this calculation that's like, well, if I drive off the cliff with this motherfucker, the world becomes a 30% better
yeah,
place.
it's because they're gonna use that system. They're gonna use the AI system as a way of they're going to use that system because they're trying to say that people are bad and they need to depopulate the earth, so they're going to say that the way to save humanity and save the earth is by
they'll come to that conclusion eventually.
Yeah, so that's what's scary.
They'll like see you throw something on the ground or like litter, like do something bad for the environment, and they'll be like, oh wow.
Yeah, it's like you just breathe. And they're like, oh, you just breathe. It's like, it's that carbon emission, like. But okay, I have a totally random question. We're about to be at the last segment. Favorite artist in town?
Favorite artist in town, man.
Let's say favorite rapper.
Favorite rapper in town. Probably Burns.
Burns?
Probably Burns. He's been one of my favorites for a long time, man.
I think honestly, he's a lot of people's favorite rapper out here. Like,
and I work with him in the studio a lot. He's recorded a bunch of projects over at my crib, so I see him.
He's phenomenal.
I see him in the studio. I see him live. I've seen him live like 30 times, and every single time it's just as good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just like, I just gotta say he's probably. I mean, he like live performance. He just brings it every fucking time.
Exactly.
Writing as far as like wordplay. Untouchable. It's like he's probably
he's phenomenal. He
and he can sing the fuck out. He's just like he's very multi-dimensional, man. Yeah, that's my brother.
It's like you feel it when he's on stage. You feel that shit. You're like, woo. You know what I'm saying? You can feel it from down the street.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, he's playing. Like I can tell.
Yeah, music is like emotion and his feeling, and he's like he encompasses all of it.
Exactly.
You know? So yeah, I'd say he's probably like my favorite in town.
Heck yeah. Do you have any shout outs for anybody that may be watching this or that you may send it to?
Shout out to just really the whole Tulsa music scene, man. Like all the bands, the hardcore scene, the punk scene, the hip hop scene, man. Everybody's doing really cool stuff. The R&B scene, even, you know, there's a few chicks out here doing some cool stuff. Yeah, just shout out to all you guys. Keep working hard. I'm gonna keep showing up to show support whenever I can. Shout out to J-Rob the Law for doing these off the top interviews, man. You a big part of the whole community here.
Yeah.
And I just hope nobody loses sight of like community around here, you know what I'm saying? Helping each other out and showing support. Right now it's going really well and it's dope, and I hope that doesn't change.
Lit. So this is the last part of the interview, and I give people to either 1 minute. I used to do, well, we can do 2, 1 to 2 minutes to either rap or sing, freestyle, or do a written, or you can just rant about something for a minute or 2. Starting now.
Alright. What can I rant about? Man, I'ma say this. We were talking about it earlier off the camera. If you're in Tulsa, I'm not even gonna speak outside of my city, and you're rapping over your vocals consistently, like you're just playing your songs, you know what I'm saying, and I mean, I'm nothing against you guys, alright, but like, just practice it and spit those vocals without anything on it, and I guarantee you it's gonna resonate with people more live, and you're gonna connect with more people. And some of you may not think you even need that, like maybe you already got the juice and you already got people, but I swear it can get even bigger and it can get even better. And if you really hone in your craft by learning how to rap, instead of just kind of sitting on the crutch of having your vocals in there, I promise you it's going to turn out really good for you.
That's amazing advice.
Yeah, and so I'm not going to even go into the negative sides of it, man. I'm going to keep it all the way positive with that. If you do that, man, it'll change the whole game for you.